If I was your child, I'd be an awfully ugly witch, wouldn't I? Yours is a face only a mother could love, and one I could never forget. If only I could remember where from. No quarrel. You're in no position to decide that. See, my infernal partners love my ability to eliminate your kind. I figure your sacrifice would shut them up for a while.
Alright, hello everybody. Oh jeez, what a great start to the episode, running into the flames. So anyway, I am the Iodide, and I bring you another segment of the Bayonetta Let's Play, and this is actually going to mark a significant moment for Fullspectrum Gaming, in which that after this is uploaded, we will have over 5 parts, and what I mean by that is we'll actually have a part 6, which has yet to be happened. I believe we may have a part 6 for our Diablo Let's Play somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I have the stuff to record, or at least I think I do. I might have gotten lost. I lost quite a bit of footage, unfortunately, in my computer's main hard drive, so I don't know where it went. It makes me feel sad, especially because we spent so long working on it and we actually got stuff. So that's just a bummer, and I am completely just tanking this chapter. What is going on? They're aggroing me like no other, and it's just really frustrating here. I'm trying to keep up my platinum run, and I'm not sure how that's going to go now, but we'll see. We'll keep on pushing, and I'll keep on dodging. I don't happen to have the Gate of Despair on, do I? Let me take a look. I don't even have the Gate of Despair yet. What am I talking about? You guys don't know what that is. So I guess I'll explain it to you after this. You know what? Oh no, I can't afford it yet. That's why I don't have it. Oops, my bad. That would come in handy quite a bit for this next Alpine portal that I'm about to do. Which also, honestly, has the dumbest and most ridiculous unlock of all the Alpine portals, minus the very last one, because the very last one is risky because you can actually trigger the final boss and then you'll miss it entirely, which is absolutely frustrating. But see this trash can? You kick it and the Alpine portal appears over there. I couldn't tell you why, but that's the prerequisite to getting it. If you try to go to the Alpine portal before you kick the trash can, it'll immediately start that battle sequence. And this Alpine portal is also really annoying. I practiced this one quite a bit, but unfortunately I had bought the Gate of Despair on my practice file because I was sworn I would have had enough here, so we'll try it. Basically, you just got to keep jumping on the enemies, and you keep jumping. You have to stay in the air for 10 seconds, and the problem with this is the enemies tend to group up and stay away from each other, which they're actually not doing, and I think I just did it my first go, so, you know, I guess that's a positive start. This group on the first verse absolutely nail this one, well, except I got hit a little bit, but hey, it happens to a lot of people. With that, we also have another completed Moon Pearl. We add one more sphere to our magic gauge, and away we go. Now, as if you remember from the previous part, I mentioned that I really hated this chapter, And the big reason I hate this chapter is there's flames everywhere, and most of the generic grunt enemies, you cannot just outright attack. You have to either go into witch mode, or have your sword or an item that does not involve using your hands to attack, because if you hit them, as you saw, you get hurt. If you touch those flames, as you saw right at the beginning of the episode, you get hurt. And then there's also this this verse right here. This lava's coming at you. If it actually manages to get to you, it's instant death. And then there are these guys in the way too. They're not such a big deal. This one right here likes to immediately run out with a grab, and just like that, I'm going to die. There's absolutely no way to escape the lava and get that. Boom. That's called death, which just completely and utterly screwed me over and ruined my platinum run. But like I stated before, this is not gonna be perfect. I promised I practiced that a lot, and the worst that I ever came out with was just a platinum medal, because I had no idea how to get gold, or I have no idea how to get a platinum score in that one in the time allotted. And basically what a death does is it just takes an incredible chunk out of your endgame score. Your endgame score will look like it's unaffected, but in reality, it will drop you down. It drops you down, I think it drops you down about 2 entire trophies. If I come out of this with a gold, I will be really, really amazed, so I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, we're about to be introduced to a brand new type of angel, one of the most infuriating angels in the entire game. This is, I want to say this is Fearless? Oh no, this is Fearless. Fearless is the better version of this one. And this one is a lot annoying because not only does it start off immediately attacking you, but it has the problem of hitting really, really fast. It hurts really, really bad, and I get hit by it a lot because my reaction times are slow. Not only that, but it has one of the most annoying torture attacks in the whole game because it requires an immense amount of button spamming, of which I am not really good at, and yeah, it requires a lot of button presses to get max bonus. I can't speak when I'm doing it because I'll sound constipated for sure. And I'm not a button spam champ. The other commentator on this channel, his name is John Munn. He is a button spamming aficionado, and when he played this game, he cleared that no problem whatsoever. And I secretly flipped him off when he wasn't watching for it, just because, well, I can't button spam. I don't know how. I will have to learn eventually, so for now you just get to sit there and you get to watch me button spam the crap out of all the buttons without actually legitimately watching me and without listening to me, except I sorta made a noise. If you could pick it up, I might cut it out, probably not, because that'd take too much time. All that goofy stuff intended, but yeah, I hate this place. It's a lot of hazards, a lot of stupid stuff. I'm really glad I nailed that Alfheim challenge in one go. I was not looking forward to it, because there's one very specific weapon in this game that helps you quite a bit, and we'll actually be getting it after we get the second piece of the golden LP that we just picked up. Because if it wasn't something... No, because this is where I start, because from now on, the LPs are going to be broken up into pieces, ranging from a completed LP, which will no longer get to, like, I think the maximum size is 4 golden pieces, and they're just a pain to collect, unless if you know exactly where they are. You're probably going to miss a lot of them. Some of them are nicely hidden. One of them is hidden... It's not the most clever hiding spot in the world, but you wouldn't really think about it. It took me 2 or 3 playthroughs because, much like the Morph Ball in Metroid Prime, to get it, you have to go a place you wouldn't think you have to go. Instead of going where the game obviously wants you to try to go and just immediately points you there, you have to go backwards. And that requires you to turn around in a place where it doesn't really seem like you should be able to turn around. But it's right there, sure enough. It's in a treasure chest, and It's I forget which one that is actually. That might be one of the more useful ones, but they're all pretty much useful in some way. There's the one weapon that we're gonna get from this set of LP. I don't care for it at all. It has about one use to me, and that's gonna be an Alfheim in the future, because there's another Alfheim that requires you to bounce off on enemies and stay in the air for a certain amount of time. However, that one, the enemies don't all clump up like they did, and therefore it becomes much more, essentially much more spatial awareness heavy and getting all that stuff and just figuring out where the enemies are. I don't like to do that, so once we get the LP from this chapter, it'll make that a whole lot easier, because I'll explain it in more detail once we get it, because I don't remember exactly when the second one's I mean, I know when it's going to come up, because I practiced this chapter a lot. I just couldn't tell you how far away time frame wise, especially because when I do these practice runs, I completely skip the cutscenes in the game, because I've seen them dozens of times. You know, as much as I enjoy them, after a while, whenever I play the game, I just really just like to get straight to the action. Like, this is a cutscene that I normally skip. And the unfortunate thing about this game, as opposed to all my time in the Xbox versions, I can pick up on the little things that are off here. And one of the main issues that I've noticed is the Wii U version compared to the Xbox version has quite a bit of frame rate issues in odd parts. And I don't know if that's because they did more of a port along from the PlayStation 3 version or whatnot, but either way, it was just not ported too brightly, in my opinion. I don't know what's going on. I don't like it. I don't know the technical features. I don't know everything. I just know that, or at least I would assume that because it's the Wii U, it would have, you know, updated stuff, because this is Nintendo's next-gen console. So why is it suffering some of the same issues brought on by the PlayStation 3 of last generation? And the fact that Sega usually really nails Nintendo consoles very, very well. There's not a whole lot of issues in the second game, though. I mean, every now and then you have a couple frame rate dips or something that looks a little choppier than it's supposed to be. But for the most part, Bayonetta 2 is significantly more stabilized than this one. However, that does not make this game any less enjoyable. It's really mostly minor things in some cutscenes, and as I said before, I tend to skip a lot of cutscenes. Unfortunately, though, there is some slowdown amongst the fighting, and once we get up to a certain point, that's right up here, it becomes very apparent where the slowdown is. But, you know, like I said, for the most part, it doesn't decrease the performance or the enjoyment level of the game. Now, unlike the PlayStation, when I played that version, it just significantly dropped my enjoyment of the game. It also probably helps that since the Wii U is a little more advanced than the 360, at least as far as I know, the polygon count and everything in this game is actually ramped up a bit, so things look a little crisper, they're a little cleaner. Bayonetta's outfits have actually been, what's the word I'm looking for? They've been not remodeled, because they're exactly the same as they were in the previous games. It's just that now they look a whole... One second. It makes my arm sore every time. Basically, they just look a lot nicer. They look more HD than previous games. And I don't know if you can notice a whole lot of difference. I notice quite a bit of difference. Or at least my brain tells me I notice difference. I don't know if it's just me artificially coming up with a difference or what. I apologize for those random moments of me pausing, but I really cannot talk during those moments. It's just, there's absolutely no way I can do it. It requires too much muscle spasm and strength, especially because I button mash all with my thumb, and there's that glorious slowdown that I mentioned. It's very, very apparent, like right there. Oh, it was so jarring. But this is a very minor part, honestly. I find it to be non-obtrusive. I can still play the game just fine. And then this is also, again, one of my least favorite chapters. I don't really know which one is my least favorite. I'm pretty sure once I get to it I'll remember, because I'd spent... It was basically how my playtime with this game from when I initially got it in Christmas of probably 2012 or 2013. I don't exactly remember, which is really unfortunate. I played it pretty much non-stop for about 80 hours, and then I went to move on to other things, every now and then coming back to this game and enjoying it all over again, like a nice brand new experience. And then Bayonetta 2 came out, and I started to play the ever-living crap out of that. So I got a lot of stuff from that. And then this one comes around, and you know, it's still I enjoy it a lot, but I don't know if I'm gonna continue to play the Wii U version for a whole lot. Like in my own spare time, in my own downtime, I don't know if I'm gonna continue to play the Wii U version endlessly because of all these weird issues. I mean, I enjoy the Hero of Time outfit. I enjoy the other outfits that exist in this game, and I'll show those off at points that I've actually already determined. And thinking I'm pretty sure I already missed a treasure chest, so I'm gonna turn around really quick and make sure. No, I got the treasure chest. What am I thinking? What am I doing? Wasting time, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, so here we are. I'm pretty sure I almost just died there, which is really unfortunate because it's not even a combat zone. Not yet, anyway. Here we are. We're in the catacombs. This theme of the catacombs is actually inspired by the God of War series, so you can definitely draw some parallels to it. Well, hopefully you guys can. I've never actually played did I say Gears of War or just like God of War? Either way, I meant to say God of War, no matter what I said. So if I said God of War before, I'm probably going to be stupid. But yeah, God of War. I've never actually played the games. I've heard they're very, very good, but I don't know, it just never really appealed too much to me. Big man going around and beating the crap out of a bunch of gods is pretty cool and all, but I don't know. There's just something about the God of War series that has kind of made me stay away for a bit. I'll probably give it a look at some point. I mean, one of my favorite Let's Play channels did a Let's Play of the first game, so I can give that one a look. I had a demo of whatever the PSP version is, and it was fun for a bit, but it made me think of a game called, I think it was like Spartan Total Warrior or something. I had it on the GameCube, and basically you're a Spartan warrior, and you spend the entire time mowing down tons and tons of useless and faceless warriors, and then as you progress you get items that make you overpowered in the early game, but as you go on you realize you're no longer overpowered when you get to all these zombies and random bosses. And yes, I did say zombies, and the only way to guarantee to kill said zombies was to stomp on their face, which I would always forget to do, and it was really frustrating and all that stuff. And unfortunately my experience with that game ended really soon, because what ended up happening was I got to a point where I hit a checkpoint, but I did not have enough HP to actually continue on and play successfully, because I just couldn't do it. And instead of resetting, I just gave up entirely on that. It's really unfortunate, but hey, that's how games go sometimes. It wasn't really that it was a difficult game, it's just that I was a really young individual. So nowadays I probably wouldn't have gotten stuck in that area like that, but I probably could have found a way around it without having to reset and just completely and utterly lose interest in that game. But anyway, that's that game. The game I'm currently playing that I should be doing the commentary about is Bayonetta use Bayonetta, and this Alpine portal is a particularly nasty one, especially if you're not like me and, you know, your first time through, or... Alright, let me finish the dog real quick. Ugh. Especially if you hadn't gone through the game's hardest difficulty, which is called non-stop infinite climax, and this disables your witch time. And once you lose your ability to perform witch time, only then do you really realize how much you actually get use out of it. And unfortunately, sometimes it suffers, sometimes it doesn't. I've had better runs on that portal, honestly. Like, significantly better runs. But luckily I didn't have any failures, because last thing I want to do is a bunch of unnecessary editing around tons and tons of failures, which I actually meant to do in one of the previous parts to this, but I kind of forgot, because I was a little pressed for time for where I was, and I wanted to get the video edited, so I'm actually probably going to go through this before I upload them. Because I keep all my footage archived and everything, so I just want to make sure they're the best quality editing that I can do, especially because the profession that I want to go into in life is editing, so if I mess up on simple editing things here when there's not really a whole lot to edit out other than cut off my dialogue track when a cutscene appears, or cut out a load time where I'm not speaking, which lately I have been talking through the load times because I just have a lot to talk about, and that was actually something I was talking with John, the commentator that I mentioned earlier, is that surprisingly enough I've had a lot more to talk about in this game than I thought. You know, I just keep having the thoughts. My voice keeps rambling on, and this segment so far, for the most part anyway, I've been doing pretty well with keeping my thoughts on a straight and forward path, as opposed to here's a thought here, here's a thought there, there's a thought there, here's a thought everywhere. And I've only noticed like one time where my mind was losing track really fast, so I didn't recover, which is significant for me. I'm definitely improving in terms of my commentary, which honestly isn't really riveting commentary about how my commentary is doing. Ho ho ho. Anyway, what we picked up here was an hourglass, and it doesn't reverse time, but it just reverses damage of things. And it not only reversed the damage of that, but it also reversed these planks here. And to most people it's like, oh, that's completely insignificant. Well, what that also did is it revealed an Alpine portal back in this cave. I don't really remember which one this is. I think it might be Only Wicked Weaves. Yeah, I think that's what it is, Only Wicked Weaves, which isn't quite as much of a nuisance as no witch time, but this one, if I remember, yeah, because you go through a bunch of these normal grunts, which if you hit, they just bounce you off, which thankfully you don't take actual damage for hitting them on your little damage counter. They're just a nuisance though. You still get witch time, it's really cool, but for the most part this is what I do. You just sit back and you spam punch, kick, punch, and you get that nice wicked weave. I highly recommend using Shiraba, because Shiraba, when you do that, gives you sweeps so you can hit multiples. And this part is kind of tricky. If you can keep the dogs clustered without kicking them, because as soon as you kick one just like that, it busts up your combo. You can't keep doing it, and you have to pretty much dodge out of the way really quickly. So if you can just keep them close like I am here, not do that. Actually, let's get some distance from these guys. So just keep your distance, spam the punch, kick, punch. If you have the ability that lets you spam the backwards and forwards, and then hit so you can automatically do your wicked weaves, fill up your magic meter, and then do that. That helps a lot, especially when you either have one left or they start to spread out a bit, so you need to get rid of one quickly. But either way, that was a surprisingly nice run through that. Let's see when I got pure platinum. I think so far that's the only pure. That might be the second pure platinum I've got in this chapter. But I'm not keeping too much score here with this and trying to take care or pay attention to how well I'm doing in these ones because, like I said, I already died. So the idea of having a platinum trophy in the end is just completely shot through the window. Unless if I got a pure platinum in everything, which is highly, highly unlikely.
Another LP? Working me to the bone. But no need to pity me. I was bored anyways. Let me go whip some things into shape for you. It was a close one this time. This bad boy might even be hard for you to get a handle on. Take care of yourself.
Alright. So that item we got is Kolshedra. I don't know. I never properly learned how to pronounce it. It's not really that useful to me. It's a whip. You can do whippy things with it. You can smack people. I don't remember exactly the move for it, but you can get some wicked slaps in there. It's amusing, but overall, I still don't think it's useful for a whole lot. The most useful thing, like I said, is going to be an Alpine portal that is going to appear later in another chapter. And its main use for that will be to bring the enemies to me. And as I said before, since it's for keeping them so that way you can jump off the enemies and keep your air distance up, it's just gonna bring them to me so that way I can just jump right off their faces. They'll be none the wiser. It's an instant pure platinum, unless if you're unlucky and you manage to take a hit, which is possible. I've done that many times attempting that particular portal, but that's not till later on down the road. How much later on down the road? I don't remember. I just know that that is the last verse in this chapter. We're coming up to the end, assuming I don't die here, because that would be really embarrassing to have this so many deaths. Nope, I did okay. That's not too tough, but I've seen people completely and utterly muck it up. And that person who completely and utterly mucking it up being my roommate, it was really, really funny. To get through that with ease, if you don't have an ability that you basically if you're not on New Game Plus yet, to get through that part with ease, all you have to do is just make sure to dodge every now and then, but don't dodge so much that she does her dodge really high and then do a stupid pose. Because if you do that, then you're most likely not going to make it out alive at that point. Because if I remember correctly, if you fail that, it is yet another insta-death. This place is just filled with them. With that part that I died at, the quick time event, the part with the train, that there's just so much insta-death in this chapter. So much unnecessary things. I hate those fire snakes. This part coming up has a really stupid obstacle that I've only ever been hit by once, and oddly enough that was during my practice playthrough. But anyway, if you touch this lava up here, it hurts, and as soon as you start to climb up, for whatever reason, rocks just start falling, and you can actually see, ow, just like that. You can watch them spawn up there too. They don't come from anywhere in particular, they just get summoned. So I don't know what's up with these rocks, but I hate them. It's a pointless obstacle, and just like that, we're out. We have a journal to collect up here. There's a crow that's around here. I'm not gonna bother picking it up. And actually, if we get rid of this journal really quick, that just describes the Colosseum, which is where we're headed to next. If you look over here, you can see the poor city of Vigrid and all its flames and glory and yeah, everybody's dead basically. Congratulations. So you go up here, you go up here, you go up here, and boom, it's the Colosseum. So wow, this is actually a pretty short part. But anyway, that's all for now, folks. So hopefully you enjoyed the video that you've seen. Please leave a comment, subscribe, thumbs up, or thumbs down if you want to be that guy. And I will see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.